talking about capital punishment in the Old Testament this morning. And my mind went to the story in John where the religious leaders had a woman dead to rights, accused of adultery. The law of Moses said, we got to stone. Got to stone. And they figured they would, pun intended, kill two birds with one stone here.
Entrap Jesus.
They'd take care of her, and then they'd get Jesus to show his cards. He went around talking love and peace and happiness. Well, what are you going to do with Moses? Moses says we ought to stone her. What do you say we ought to do? Because they know if he disagrees with Moses, he's going to be a blasphemer. If he agrees with Moses, it's going to look bad on all this love and forgiveness stuff he's been preaching all along. Oh man, Jesus, don't ever try to back Jesus into a corner. I was studying this week
Greater than some.
in Matthew, where they were trying to trap him up, and they said, "Now, by what authority do you do these things?" And instead of Jesus answering him, he said, "Well, I'll tell you, but tell me first, whose authority did John baptize?" Because if they said John didn't have any authority, the people were going to be mad to him. And if they said John baptized under the authority of God, Jesus could have just said, "Well, how come you didn't listen to him about what he said about me?" But there in the book of John, he finds, they bring this woman to him and they say, "Well, Moses says we should stone her. What do you say?" Jesus said, "Well, no, you got that exactly right. The law says we should stone her, but here's how we're going to do it. Here's how we're going to do it. You know how the story ends. He that is without sin, he gets to cast the first stone."
Yeah, go first.
And he bends down and he gives them dignity. It's the amazing part about all this. These self-righteous guys, he gives them dignity. Kind of turns his back and just plays around right in the sand. A couple minutes go by. I love how John puts it. They left from the oldest to the youngest. I think the oldest ones had been around the block long enough to know that, oh man, if that's the standard, I was talking to Whitney about this long ago. I was like, I don't know. I would like to think that the older I get as a Christian, the more holy I become. But the older I get as a Christian, the more I realize how awful I am. There were times when I was young that I thought, I got this thing just about whipped. And the older I get, the more I realize how much I need him. But Jesus turns back around and says, "Woman, where'd your accusers go?"
No, go on.
And he looks at her and he says, "Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more." And I think, man, we don't hear anything else about that woman from there on out. But how in the world do you go through that experience and not give the rest of your life to somebody? How do you look that kind of love and mercy and grace in the face and not say, this is what I'm doing with the rest of my life? So this song was written by David Crowder probably 10 years ago, if that long. But I think that woman could have written it just as well. When the law had me dead to rights, when the law said I was deserving of nothing but death, Jesus came along and said, "Neither do I condemn thee." All my hope is in Jesus.